So guys, we are here again, of course, like always, and we will be here for a while because we have a lot of things. We have the body, we have the cup, we have the glasses, eyes, also the tail and everything. So basically we have this. So you have made the forms, or we have made the forms of the ears. They are not perfect. We may have to fix them, and I have something interesting to do. Let's do something interesting now. So now what we have here in our scene, we have only two objects. We have sphere 02, which is our head, and sphere 03, which is our ear, I guess. Yeah. So we can name them. It will be easier. So head, oops, head, and this one, double click, ears. Okay, ears and head. Good, perfect. Okay, what we need now? Obviously, not obviously, but we need to put our picture into the scene sometimes, to put our concept into the scene, so we can compare our measurements to the concept, and they will be much more accurate this way. So let's go to the object mode. So Control Tab and here object mode, and we need to be able to put our viewport exactly in the front or exactly on the side view. This will happen with the numpad. The numpad key is 1. 1 is, in this case, is the back. Because I've started working from the back of the model, which is not very nice. So probably we should turn it, because 1 should put you in the front of the model. And yeah, so let's try to turn it. This could prove to be a little bit difficult, but let's try. So first, I will go to edit mode to the ear and rotate. So rotation is R. R, rotate on the keyboard. You can use it, of course, the rotate tool to rotate it, but most of the time R will do the job. So I want to rotate it on the Z-axis, because the Z-axis is this axis that we are, you know, seeing now. On the Z-axis, 180 degrees. Let's try that. So rotate, we press R, and then we are on the rotate mode. We can rotate. Then we press Z to lock it on the Z-axis. Now it's locked on the Z-axis. And then we just type 180, 108, and enter. You see, when you want to rotate or scale something on a certain degrees, in this case I want it completely the other way around, so you have to kind of figure out which. Yeah, also here you see this rotation window, 180 degrees. When you press rotate, so I press A to select everything, although I need only this, so I press L. You see, when I'm on this, I press L. And now I press R to rotate, and I start rotating it. And when I release, I can see here the degrees, and I can press 0, for example, to turn it back to 0. So this window will help, of course. Do we have modifier? No, we don't have. So I will delete this ear because I don't like it. So I press X, faces. I just pressed L to select everything on the other ear and deleted it. Now I will get this, press G to move it. Oops, no, I'll have to select everything with A. I'll press G to move it. And I want to move it only on the X axis. So while I'm moving it, I can press X and it will be locked on X axis. And I can put it here, just for now. Then I'll press Tab to escape, get out of this mode. And I can go to the head. Just click on the head. While we are on object mode, we can click on the objects we want. Control Tab down, we are on the sculpting mode, and now we have to go over the object and Alt Q, Alt Q, Alt Q. This is the difference, yeah. So I'll go again to the object mode. I will go to the head, and we want to turn the head again. So I will press R to rotate. I will press, oops, no. First I have to go to Tab. Then press A to select everything, and now I can rotate. It's selected, it's ready to rotate. So press R, ready to rotate. By the way, disable the symmetry, we don't want it now. Here we have some symmetry. If we have symmetry, it will be amazingly bad. So disable the symmetry just for now. Press R to rotate, then press Z to rotate on Z axis, and then press 180. 180. I don't know why it doesn't came out on my keys, but whatever, 180, and then press enter. And you see, I rotated it on Z axis 180 degrees. Let's try something else, Control Z. I will press R to rotate it and just rotate it a little bit on no axis, just rotate it and drop. And now you see, I will rotate it on Z axis, okay, and I can try 180 again here. And it's happening. Although this is not exact because I'm not sure it's on the Z axis in this case. The other way is to grab the blue here and start rotating it on the blue, and then press Control to snap on some degrees, and it could work. And I guess if you see here, notice here how it will appear the degrees. So I'm starting to rotate, I'm pressing Control, and rotation is 100 and something, and I'm continuing to rotate it, and 180 exactly. So this is another way to do it also. You can do it with this. So now, yeah, I'm sorry that we had to do this, but it's good because it's a nice kind of exercise. So now I want to go to select box. Everything is selected. I'm in edit mode on the ear because I exited edit mode on the head. Now I'm edit mode on the ear. I'm editing the ear now. Everything is selected on the ear. And now I want to move this ear a little bit back on this green axis. Which one is green? Here we see Y. So if I press G to start moving it, I can just move it back, yes. But lock it on Y axis, just in case. Yeah, just for practicing. And I'll put it like this. So now it's okay. I will go directly from edit mode to sculpt mode, which is absolutely possible. So I will go Control Tab, down, sculpt mode. And then this ear, we are selecting the ear now, we can go here and symmetrize, but not X plus to minus X, but the default one, because the default one is the right one. Symmetrize. And now we have both ears. Very cool. Let's go to the head. We don't have symmetry, we'll turn it on. And now let's go back to object mode. Yeah, we will go back and forward to object, sculpt, and edit mode all the time. So yeah, it's inevitable. This is how you work when you try to make characters in Blender. You have to kind of get used to this kind of working back and forward. So now we go Control Tab and object mode. And here we press 1 on the numpad. If you don't have a numpad, you can use the keys, the normal 1, 2, 3, but you have to go first to edit, preferences, and here you have to emulate numpad. If you click this, now your normal keys, your normal number keys will become like the numpad keys. And you can use them for this kind of things. So now if we zoom in with the scroll wheel of our mouse, oops, I messed up. So press 1 and zoom in with the scroll or with Control middle mouse. And with the Shift middle mouse, just put it right here, like this. So it has to say here front orthographic. Now we don't have perspective, we're on orthographic mode, and I will get the, let me see, I will get the concept, it's here, and I will drag it inside just with the left mouse button. I'm dragging it and dropping it, and it's here. Now it's inside Blender, it's on a plane inside the Blender, which is great. We can use this, and we will use it. Now I can press G. Since I'm on this orthographic mode, I will move it exactly on this plane. I will put it here. I will scale it with S, so I can see the head and the ears a little bit. With G I'm moving it, with S I'm scaling it, with G I'm moving it. And in this way we see that our ears maybe are a little bit too big. But what can we do about this? So I want to move this plane only backwards, and backwards is, as you can see, it's y-axis. So I'll press G and then Y and try to move it back, and now it's back. I'm moving my mouse forward, up and down, and up obviously is coming towards us, and back it will go back. And now we can move our ears according to the concept. The concept, it's not exactly front view, but it will give us the overall idea, which is great. So now I will name this. I will click on the plane and I will press F2 to name this. How? Image plane, image plane. And we can disable this image plane just to work very good here with these buttons here. You see, every object has eye in front of it, and we can enable and disable the object, the visibility. If you want to disable it from the render later, you can disable the camera icon also. And also, we can add an icon here, which is very useful when you go to this funnel here, and just click on this. And in this way, you will have another icon, selectable. So, for example, I don't want to be able to select this plane. Now I cannot select it. You see, I can select the other things. I can work with them, but the plane is not selectable, which is very useful in some situations. But yeah, in this case, I don't want it to be selectable. It's cool. Now I go to my sculpting mode with Control Tab down, and then I will grab my pen if I found it. Yes, it's here. The pen is here. The mighty pen is here. By the way, I used to work with Wacom Intuos 4, the tablet that I was working at home. It's old tablet, but it's very good. And suddenly I decided to try one by Wacom, like I told you. The cheapest Wacom, maybe. And it's amazing. It's the same, basically. Because it's new, it has 2000 and something pen pressure sensitivity, and it's pretty cool. So now I'll select the ear, just with Alt-Q, ears, head, ears, okay. And now I will, with G, with big G, I will move them so they will be kinda similar to the concept. Yeah. Basically, we can try Alt-Z. Yes, it's very good. Alt-Z is for X-ray. So now our model is transparent and we can see through it the concept, and we can move. So this ear is okay, the other ear is not okay, because I told you it's not exactly in the front view. Let's go to the head. Alt-Q while I'm on the head. And now I will make it a bit bigger. Here the nose will make smaller. And this kind of things. But the nose overall shape is, not the shape, but the position of the nose is right. The head shape is kind of right. So we are in the right path here. Now. So I will disable the visibility of the plane. We don't need it. And I'll press Alt-Z. And I will make this nose a bit wider. I made it too thin. It's not good. Now we can continue working on the head, because the head is one of the most important things for most characters. When I rotated now, I completely lost where my object is. That happens sometimes, not that often, but it happened. So what I can do is go to the head, select it here, and press Home. Or just press del on the numpad, not the normal del, because normal delete will numpad. No, this is the normal delete. Nothing is happening here with the normal delete, but it better not happen, because I don't want to delete it yet or ever. So for any character, maybe for most characters, the head is the most important thing. So we have to be very careful and make it look good. But we don't need only head, we need also some eyes. So let's try to add some eyes. How to do it? Of course, we go Control Tab Object Mode, which is Control Tab Left. Control Tab Down Sculpt Mode, Control Tab Left is Object Mode. And now Shift A to add a mesh, UV Sphere. Okay, we added a mesh. Immediately we press Tab, we go to this, the Edit Mode, you see here, up, Edit Mode. And now we will make this as a one eye. We make it smaller with S, I scale it. Then I move my view from the side, and with G, I put it here, and with G again, I put it here. Why am I doing this? Because I want to see it better. And this, I think this this big, it will be nice, so I'll put it around like this. Okay, for now this is okay. We can move it later, we can do whatever, but we have to have it. And then we can go tab to get out of edit mode. Then we press the right mouse button, and shade smooth is the first option, because you see now our eye is very faceted. The polygons are visible, so we right click and shade smooth, and now it's looking good. The polygons are the same, but it's kind of more rounded, which is good. Now I go to my modifier tab, which is this wrench icon in here, see, which is there, the wrench icon there. I cannot show it from here because I'm too far away from it, but it's here. Then we go to mirror tab, and voila, we are the best. If for some reason, let me disable this, if for some reason you have moved your object while not in edit mode, and you go to mirror, you will notice that it's not mirroring correctly. Of course, what you can do then is Control A and apply all transforms, and it will fix it. Control A. Of course, it's not exactly fixed because this is kind of strangely stretched, or at least it looks that way a little bit. But we can disable it. We can go put our eye in the position where we want it, more or less. Then Control A to apply all transforms. Control A is apply. You can see it here, apply. And it applies location, rotation, size. We need to apply all transforms and then go to mirror it. And now it's fine. It looks good. So now these are the eyes. Let's press F2. It's a good idea to name the things even when we create them. I rarely do it, I'll admit that. But in this case, while we're learning, it's good to do it, I think. I think it's fine. So the next thing we will add is Shift A, and we'll add a sphere. Wow, what a surprise. We added a sphere. What's happening here? Okay, the sphere, we will press Tab, and then we want this sphere. Of course, I create it, and immediately I go to edit mode to start doing something with it. I want this to be my body. Not my mouse body. Not my body. I have body, so no problem. But the mouse doesn't have body, so we'll do it. The mouse, it's there. Yeah. Mouse. Okay. Now, I press G to move it. Or I go to my transform and just put it down and increase the size. In the beginning, this will be easier for you, probably. Yeah, I can scale it up to Z, and then with S, I can scale it down with S key. I scale, you see, S. And I scale it and I make it small. And I move it here. It will be easier, in my opinion, in the beginning for you to work with the gizmo instead of working with G, R and S keys. S scale, R rotate, and G grab, basically, or move in this case. But grab, I move it back, but make sure everything is selected. If it's not, of course, you can select it by pressing A, or pressing double A to deselect it, or just simple one time A to select it. So now we have a body. Great. Now we need probably some arms. Okay, how to do arms? We will go out of edit mode, and we can basically duplicate this mesh. Why not? So Shift D will duplicate your mesh. And it will immediately you will be able to move it as if you have pressed the G key. So immediately after you press Shift D, you will be able to move it. But if you want it to stay exactly where it is, you just press the right mouse click, and then it will stay. You can move it, of course, from here if you so need it, but whatever. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's say it will be here. We need to make it smaller, because this will be the arm, and the legs, you see, are, I mean, the arms are not that visible, but the legs are pretty thin, so I guess the arms also will be pretty thin, very thin. Okay, let me show you how I do it. I press S to scale, But let's go to transform. I press S to scale, and then I press Z to scale it only on Z axis, and I make it like this. And then I press only S to scale it down. And now, by the way, what I did is I inverted. I think I inverted, so I'm not sure, but let's go. And backface culling is on, so let's press tab. Maybe it's not inverted, hopefully it's not. By the way, when we go to render, we don't see anything. Why? Because we don't have a light in our scene. In this scene, we don't have light. In the other scene, in the first scene, we have light. Yes. But in this scene, we don't have. And when we go to viewport shading, which is the rendered one, we see the light, the shadows, everything is okay. When we go to this scene, we see nothing. We don't have light, but we don't need light for now. Now I would like to put this like here. So it could be an arm. And probably a leg too. So I press A to select it, R to rotate from the front view, then G to move, and then Shift D to duplicate it even in transform mode. You can duplicate it in this mode too, no problem. So I put it here, R in edit mode, not transform mode, G to move it, and basically R to rotate it until it's kind of vertical. I want it to be kind of vertical, the legs. The hands no, but the legs I want them vertical. So this is what I wanted to do. Now if I go to my mirror modifier, you will see that it will not be good. Why? Because I moved it in this object mode, which is not a problem. I told you, Control A, apply all transforms, Control A, all transforms, just press it, and then you go to mirror mode and everything should be fine. If it's not, give me a call, no problem. So now our mouse is completed, we can render it and call it done. No, of course not, it's super bad looking now. And you have no patience probably for me to tell you how to make clothes. We can make even short pants for this mouse just to show you how to do it. And then I will have to show you this very nice plugin, which by the way is paid, but don't worry about it. It's 1 month trial free, completely free trial, 1 month, and you can put it on this add-on, you can use it. I will tell you about it later. Alligators.